to MLC TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the Confluence State of Nigeria. I am Sherifa Tonono Mohammed. The headlines: Federal Executive Council approves 169.7 billion naira for reconstruction of 4 roads. Kidnappers of Greenfield students order kidnapping. Rape suspects arrested. United States backs Sweden. Finland bid to join NATO. And Frankfurt beat Rangers on penalties to win Europa League. Now the news in detail. The Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved 169.7 billion naira for the reconstruction of 4 roads under the tax credit scheme. Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Works and Housing, made this known when he briefed State House correspondents on the outcome of the council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Fashola said the approval was in response to the tax credit scheme initiated in 2019 by President Muhammadu Buhari after signing Executive Order 7 to allow the private sector to finance public infrastructure in lieu of tax and then offset it over time using tax credits. He said the two main relate to the uptake by the private sector in response to the tax credit program, which they initiated in 2019 by Mr. President signing of Executive Order 7 to allow private sector finance public infrastructure in lieu of tax and then to offset it over time using tax credits. According to Fashola, the road also provides access to the Gashaka Games Reserve and also supports access to many farmland. The minister also disclosed that the council gave approval to a private firm, Mainstream Energy Solutions, to invest over 74 billion naira in the reconstruction of 3 roads in Kebbi and Niger states. He said the second project, which is also on a tax credit scheme approved by council, is actually 3 roads. The Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has commended the senator representing Kogi East, Jibril Issa Echocho, for legacy projects he has delivered and commissioned for the people. Governor Bello, who was represented by the Deputy Governor Edward Onoja, gave the commendation during the commissioning of projects across the East Senatorial District of the state. The senator representing the good people of Kogi East Senatorial District, Senator Jibril Issa Echocho, commissioned Acharu Palm Oil Processing Plant Egweme, ultra-modern scale acquisition center at Ayimba, and rice milling plant at Ejule Ojebe, Ibaji local government area of Kogi State. Our reporter Faith Abdulgafar has more.
On behalf of our governor, the executive governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Adoza Bello, I hereby commission this rice processing plant to the glory of God and to the use of the Ibaji community of Ejule Ojebe in Ibaji local government. To God be the glory.
Commissioning the project, the governor of Kogi State, represented by his deputy Edward Onoja, accompanied by the secretary to the Kogi State government, Folashade Ayoade, commissioners, members of the State House of Assembly, and other government officials. The deputy governor said it is the first time a senator from the Kogi East Senatorial District is commissioning a productive processing plant aimed at unemployed youth in the society. He commended Senator Jibril Echocho for being proactive towards his constituency, legislative duties, and doing excellently well on his oversight functions for the benefit of all.
As a first-timer, you are mentioning up to 6 projects that are physical that we are seeing that we are commissioning. It means that as a second timer, you will move from local government level to ward level. Because a ranking senator has the capacity to do more than a fresher. The governor sent me to represent him, and he says to tell you he did not make a mistake nominating you and sponsoring you to the Senate. And the good people of Kogi East did not make a mistake in sponsoring you, voting for you to go to the Senate. Being at the National Assembly is not noise making. It's using your head, using your network to be able to impact your people. That you have done without making too much noise.
Edward further said that Echocho has written his name in gold while in public service. The secretary to the Kogi State government, Folashade Ayoade, joined the deputy governor to commend Senator Echocho for building a legacy project in his constituency.
I need to let you know, touching lives does not mean politicians giving you 5,000, 10,000, and even millions. When we're talking about touching lives, we're talking about getting salaries. Salary that we translate to you spending for your families. Salaries that will speak and say, yes, I have a job. I tell you, there is a joy that comes in leaving your house and saying you are employed. And all these things we have commissioned, they are things that will give joy to people and say, I have a job. And I want to say, our distinguished senator.
The excited Senator Jubril Echecho was happy about the successful completion of the project and thanks the good people of Kogi East for their support and prayers at all times. He emphasized that it has been part of him to impact positively on the lives of the people, a task he has been doing for ages, and used the occasion to commend the governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, who God has used to change the narrative of his political life positively.
I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to represent you there, and I believe that by the grace of God, more and more are going to come. Just for record purposes, we are also going to commission, like you know, the rice milling plant at Ibaji today. But for record purposes, in 2022 Appropriation Act, I have also gotten an approval for a rice milling plant at Omala or Bujukulu. They are going to start construction by June. I've equally gotten an approval for an integrated, modern integrated cashew processing plant at Ofu. The land has been given to order to start in June. I've equally gotten an approval for a modern cassava processing plant to be located at Ankpa. We have also gotten an approval. And we are going to hand over all these projects to the state government.
Echecho promised to remain committed and supportive of Governor Bello's aspiration for the good of all. Other dignitaries who attended the project are Senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Senator Yakub Oseni, Deputy Speaker, State House of Assembly, Ahmed Mohammed, the 9 local government areas APC chairmen, commissioners, local government areas chairmen, including the traditional rulers. Faith Abdul Ghaffar reporting for MLC TV.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Mohammed Musa Bello, has ordered the indefinite closure of Dede International Market following Wednesday outbreak of violent clash in the market. The clash between commercial motorcyclists of northern extraction and southern traders have claimed 4 lives. The minister, who inspected the scene on Wednesday night alongside the Commissioner of Police, FCT Command, Sunday Babaji, Director, State Security Services, and head of other sister agencies, confirmed that he saw 4 dead bodies. Trouble started in the market when a commercial motorcyclist reportedly rammed his motorcycle into an articulated vehicle. A development which led to his female passenger, a trader, falling off and being crushed by the vehicle. Bello directed the community and the market leaders to fish out the hoodlums responsible for this ensuing crisis. According to him, the community and market leaders must fish out hoodlums and bad eggs among them. Unfortunately, this time around, hoodlums carried arms and they shot innocent people. As a matter of fact, he saw 4 corpses. This is very sad and totally unequivocally unacceptable in Abuja. On his part, the vice chairman of Timber Shed Market, Dede, Ifeanyi Chibata, told the minister and his team that 45 to 50 shells were burned with 25 vehicles set ablaze, which total over 1 billion naira. The Secretary, Tomato and Onion Sellers Association, Dede, Dahiru Garbamani, disclosed that 4 persons were killed during the clash in the market. They both appealed to the Minister of FCT to make provisions for a police division with adequate personnel. The Federal Capital Territory Command of the Police Force on Wednesday restored order at Dede, Abuja, following the outbreak of civil unrest at the building material market in the area. The command's public relations officer, Josephine Ade, who spoke to journalists, said officers of the command swung into action to curb the menace on time. She said, following the outbreak of the civil unrest at Building Material Market in Dede at about 11:30 a.m. Wednesday, comprehensive deployment of tactical and intelligence aspect of the command, led by the Commissioner of Police, Babaji Sunday, drifted swiftly to the scene to ensure that the unrest was nipped in the bud and managed, thereby forestalling the destruction of private and government infrastructures, loss of lives and properties, and to restore normalcy to the situation. A team from the Federal Ministry of Health has visited the Federal Medical Center FMC Lokoja on facility inspection and preparation towards conversion of the hospital to Federal University Lokoja Teaching Hospital. In her remarks, the team led by Dr. Adebimpe Adebi, Director Hospital Service, FMOH, Abuja, said the team was in Lokoja on behalf of the Minister for State, Olorunibe Mamora, to inspect the hospital facilities. According to her, the objective of their visit is to come and see what they have on ground that will make the proposal for the transition from the Federal Medical Center to a teaching hospital. She explained that there were criteria for approval and final recommendations to President Muhammadu Buhari would come from the Office of the Honorable Minister of State for Health, who is supervising minister. She congratulated the FMC management for being able to overcome the challenges encountered when the hospital was locked down for over 6 months. Earlier, the medical director of FMC Lokoja, Dr. Olatunde Alabi, made a presentation on the history, structure, outlook, and the current state of the hospital in terms of infrastructure, management, staff strength, successes, and challenges. In his presentation, he said that the FMC Lokoja was established in 1999 and have been serving as the major tertiary federal health institution in Kogi State and neighboring states. He disclosed that inadequate manpower remained one of the main challenges facing the hospital due to brain drain, retirement, among others. The medical director subsequently conducted the team around the hospital facilities, assured that the board of management and the entire staff of the hospital are fully prepared. Against the backdrop of injuries and deaths of women and the girl child in Nigeria arising from sexual and gender-based violence, Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Ahmed Abubakar Audi, advocated an end to violence against women and girls as well as other vulnerable groups in the country. He said this at the opening ceremony of the Maiden NSCDC Gender Summit at the national headquarters in Abuja with the theme Building Sustainable Peace in Africa Through Gender Mainstreaming, Prevention and Response to Sexual and Gender-Based Violence. The NSCDC boss lamented that the group that suffered during crisis or conflicts are mostly women and children, as research has shown that over 35% of women and girls experience physical and sexual violence globally, which turned out to be the most common abuse of human rights in their lifetime. He called for new approaches to the fight against sexual and gender-based violence across the country, emphasizing that it is within their scope to make sure that women, children, and vulnerable ones are safe in conflict situations, and the society must ensure they no longer live in perpetual fear, but to encourage them to strive and live freely like their male counterparts. Audi maintained that gender-based violence had become a wildfire sweeping through the country because of the patriarchal nature of our cultural norms and values, which left women and girls at the receiving end. Hence, the need for more concerted effort to challenge the narratives. Speaking at the event, the head of gender units of the Corps, Chief Superintendent of Corps, Alao Ajet Kemi, explained that the summit was aimed at assessing the policy direction of government on gender matters and to open a sustainable dialogue between the Corps and other gender-based organizations. She stated that the violence includes rape, forced marriages, forced abortion, sexual harassment, intimidation within and outside the workplace, child pornography, and human trafficking, among others. And growing number of countries, including Nigeria, had instituted National Action Plan on Women and Girls Violence. In the same vein, the President, International Academy for Gender and Peace, Professor Theo Tehemba, expressed satisfaction about the partnership with NSCDC in building skills and capacities of gender-based officers across security formations towards enhancing a sustainable gender mainstreaming and equality in the country. He reiterated that the country must embrace peace to grow, develop, and live harmoniously as a people by filling the gender gaps and dispatching, while at the same time educating the people to understand the value of peacekeeping and bridging gaps for regional, national, and international cooperation. We go on a short break. We'll be right back. politics. The All Progressive Congress has said it sold 28 nomination and declaration of interest forms for the presidential election, with 25 of them filled and returned to the party. The APC listed those who failed to submit their forms as Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity, Senator Chris Ngigi, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva, and Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. The National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Phyllis Morka, made this known while featuring on Politics Today, a current affairs program on Channels Television. When asked to confirm those who have withdrawn from the race, Morka said, "I can exhaustively provide you that information for the fact that some of those who you said have reneged. They have done so in the public space but have yet to officially communicate that to the party, and those things don't necessarily happen at the same." Speaking on the purchase of forms for and on behalf of aspirants, especially by support group, Morka stated that those who have the resources can purchase forms for their presidential nominees. He also stated that it is at the point of submission of the forms that the actual verification begins. No fewer than 44,045 delegates will on May 26 elect candidates in 28 states where governorship elections will take place next year. The states where the primaries will hold include Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Delta, Cross River, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Kwara, Benue, Plateau, Niger, Nasarawa, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo, Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, and Yobe states. However, findings showed that there would be stiff contests in Kano, Oyo, Rivers, Sokoto, Niger, and Benue, where there were struggles for the control of the party structures. On Wednesday, the ruling party, which earlier scheduled its governorship primaries for Friday, shifted it to May 26. In the guidelines contained in the governorship nomination form, the party mandates aspirants and their supporters to accept the outcome of the primary and support whoever emerges as the APC candidate. The chairman of the KB State Screening Committee, Osita Okechukwu, in Abuja disclosed that 44,045 new delegates would elect the APC governorship candidates. According to him, 5 delegates will be elected per ward in all of the 8,809 wards in the country for the governorship primary, while 3 new delegates will emerge from each of the 774 local governments for the presidency. He added, those 5 delegates per ward will go to the state and elect the governorship candidate. They are going to elect 3 delegates from each of 774 local governments, who will then elect the presidential candidate. Meanwhile, the APC has said the National Working Committee never made a decision on zoning. This was disclosed by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Phyllis Morka, at the APC Secretariat in Abuja. Continuing, Morka disclosed that the APC had approved a revised timetable schedule of activity of the House of Assembly, National Assembly, governorship primaries, and appeal that arise from the exercise. The governorship and House of Representative primaries will now take place on Thursday, May 26, 2022. The Senate and House of Assembly primaries will now take place on Friday, May 27, 2022. However, it was gathered that the APC had cleared 145 governorship aspirants for the Friday primaries. Also, of the 351 aspirants who purchased senatorial nomination forms, 340 got a clean bill of health. And on crime, the First Intelligence Bureau Special Tactical Squad operatives, following directives from the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, to clamp down on the perpetrator of crimes and criminality, as well as cutting off their supply of arms, have successfully effected the arrest of 31 suspects connected with major violent crimes, including kidnapping, culpable homicide, rape, unlawful possession of firearms, etc. The FIBSTS equally recovered a total of 61 firearms, including 41 AK rifles, 8 Type 06 rifles, 4 light assault rifles, 4 pump-action guns, 2 locally made firearms, 1 G3 rifles, 1 Dane gun, 376 rounds of live ammunition of different calibers, and cash sum of 2 million naira from the suspects in the course of investigations. Prominent among the cases include a case of kidnapping where the duo of Aminu Lawal, aka Kano, and Moitola Dawo, aka Mugala, both working in Senajo with the kidnapping kingpin known as Yellow Ashana, confessed to the kidnap and murder of 2 police officers and 1 vigilante in 2021. They equally confessed to the kidnap of students from the Greenfield University in Kaduna State and the mindless murder of 5 victims before the payment of ransom and eventual release of the others. FIB-STS operatives caught up with them in March 2022 after being on their trail upon the mention of their names in connection to the kidnapping of Bethel Baptist School students in 2021. Similarly, a 5-man trans-border syndicate who carries out kidnapping operations in between Adamawa State in Nigeria and Boha, Fituha, and Kesu in Cameroon were arrested. The gang, which compromises Abubakar Mohammed, age 28, Shehu Mohammed, 38 years, Abdullahi Ali, 30, Abubakar Ali, 18-year-old, and Hussein Sule, 18-year-old, all males from Mubi, Adamawa State, target wealthy individuals who possesses beautiful houses or cars. They confessed to the kidnap and multiple rape of a newly wedded woman at Askira Uba local government area of Borno State, whom they released upon receipt of *1 million naira ransom. They were apprehended by operatives of the FIB-STS after collecting a ransom sum of 2 million naira for one money of Buladega village on the 11th of May 2022. Operative of the FIB-STS equally apprehended the duo of Omar Mohammed, age 40 years old, from Michika in Adamawa State, and Musa Buba, age 29-year-old, from Hong in Adamawa State, who are famous for their kidnapping activities. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Al-Khali Baba, while commending the FIB-STS operatives for the successes recorded, assured that all criminal elements will be smoked out of their hiding places and would answer to their crimes in due course. All the suspects will be arraigned in court on completion of investigations. And on foreign, the United States Wednesday gave its full support for Sweden and Finland's bid to join NATO, promising to stand by them if threatened by Russia and pressing Turkey to not block membership. Hours after the 2 Nordic countries formally submitted their applications to the Atlantic Alliance, President Joe Biden welcomed the move and said he would work with other NATO members and with the U.S. Congress to ensure the process moved quickly. Biden made the comments a day before welcoming Finnish President Sauli Niinisto and Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson to the White House for meetings that will likely underscore the geopolitical shift to their decision to join NATO in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Turkey, which like all NATO members has the right to veto a nation's candidacy, has raised objection. An ambassadors meeting in Brussels failed Wednesday to reach consensus on starting formal membership negotiations. Turkey has accused the 2 countries, especially Sweden, of giving safe haven to members of outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party, which is designated as a terror group by Ankara and its Western allies. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu in New York Wednesday as the NATO question loomed. They met to reaffirm their strong cooperation as partners and NATO allies. The State Department said in a statement, not mentioning the controversy over Sweden and Finland. Let's now join John and Malik for our sports updates.
And on sports update, Frankfurt defeated Rangers 5-4 on penalties to win the Europa League on Wednesday night after the final in Sevilla finished 1-1 at the end of extra time. Former Arsenal and Juventus player Aaron Ramsey missed for Rangers in the shootout after coming on as a substitute with only 3 minutes left of extra time before Rafael Borre struck the winning shot to complete Frankfurt's remarkable triumph. Frankfurt coach Oliver Glasner said they will celebrate for the next few days now. Borre was the hero of the night after already concealing out Joe Aribo's opener for Rangers as Frankfurt won their first European trophy since 1980 and booked their place in the next season's Champions League group stage. Both clubs were looking to win a second European title in their history. Rangers after clinching the Cup Winners' Cup in 1972 and Frankfurt after they lifted the UEFA Cup 42 years ago. Following a remarkable 2021-2022 season with Leicester City, Brendan Rodgers is keen to tie up a permanent deal for Nigeria international Ademola Lookman, who is on a season-long loan from RB Leipzig. According to Transfer Market, Ademola Lookman is currently valued at 9 million euros, but should Leicester City decide to sign him on a permanent deal, he would cost the folks 14 million euros. Ademola Lookman has made 40 appearances across all competitions and contributed to 13 goals, 8 goals and 5 assists. With the season drawing to a close, Rada, who is in the market for central defense, central midfield and right wing, said he had been left impressed with the Nigerian's performance during his loan spell with the club and would love to keep him. And that's sports update on MLC TV. I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to Akasta for more stories.
Thanks for the update, Jonah. And that's the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachi TV. Like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, and Twitter at MLC TV1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert, and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on the screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. Friday 9 p.m. Local Government and You, Saturday 7 p.m. Family Affairs, 9 p.m. Political Arena, and Women's World Sunday by 6 p.m. It's Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Sharifat Mohammed. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Good day and thanks for watching.